Hey y'all, welcome back to the ranch. I'm Jared Paul, and today I'm going to show you what I'm doing this year for winterizing my trees. We're going on our fourth year of being here at the ranch, so we've got a few seasons of going from fall into winter, winterizing, and back out to spring under our belt. So I've got a pretty good grip on what trees need to go down into the basement and which colder, hardy trees are going to be stored outdoors for the winter. So, as you can see, all my bonsai benches are empty, and I've gotten all the trees moved. So, I will show you the outdoor trees, the indoor trees, and I'm going to get you an update on the tree farm. So, that's what's coming up on today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. Alright, so we're back inside now. I'm down in the basement, and I kind of kept this configuration set up through the winter because I just don't have that much stuff, and I have a huge basement. So this is the designated bonsai area. So this is a black locust. I kept most of them outdoors that were in deeper pots, but since this is in a more shallow pot, I figured let's not risk it because it's one of those borderline trees as far as cold hardiness goes. Got my Japanese maples and Zelkovas. Actually, these are the squash and pumpkins that we grew in the garden this year. So we let them cure for 2 weeks upstairs in the house in the sun, and now they'll be stored down here for the winter. Hopefully those will last us at least till the new year. Got Italian fig and my other trees. You'll notice that I'm trying to keep my shadow out of here. But you notice everything's in drip trays and either elevated off the ground on shelving, or there's a nice thick rubber mat, gym flooring right there underneath, to keep the roots from getting too cold, because even though it won't get to, say, below 20 degrees Fahrenheit down here, the concrete itself can get a lot colder than the air. So you just want to err on the side of caution. Don't put your trees directly onto the concrete. And one of my bonsai broskies up in Alberta, Canada, gave me that tip a few years ago, and it's really paid off. So, yeah. Okay, so here we are just outside my front door. And as you see, the sugar maple is really turning some beautiful colors and covering my grass. And you hear in the distance the last McMansion, for lack of a better words, is being completed in the subdivision. So 20 ginormous new houses on this street, and this is the last one. So that's great because I'm in some sort of like an echoing area, so the dogs are really antsy all the time when they hear, different construction videos and things like that. Okay, so here we are. We've got wood chips here, about 4 inches deep. And that's what I'm going to set all these pots on. And then I'm going to surround each pot up to the lip of it with mulch so that it retains some moisture and heat throughout the winter. And these are cold hardy trees, like I was saying. The trickiest one was this juniper that is a full cascade. So I threw a couple bricks up under it and then covered it in mulch just to test it. And just the very tip, it's dormant, so it won't be growing, but just the very tip of this, the end of the branch, is resting on those mulch chips. So I called Francesca last night, and she goes, "Oh my gosh, it's so aesthetically pleasing." So that was nice to hear, because it's really just been a mess the past couple of years trying to get them winterized, figuring out the best thing for the actual trees. So to be able to know that what I have going on will work for the trees and it could really look attractive throughout the winter, that's what I'm excited about. All right, so let's go ahead and, I don't know if you saw me do this planting, but these are 7 white spruce in a tub, and that's what I'm bringing you down to see. Rest of my white spruce. There's the flock. Since the light and sun has gotten way lower, these guys do not feel like laying eggs. So we've gone from like 5 or 6 a day to 1 to 2. Here's the overflow and some of my prize trees, 50 other white spruce. And then if you didn't see me do it this year, I moved what was out in the field there, out that way, into here with our veggies and fruits, because the spruce weren't as growing as quickly as I thought that they would. So I need them spread out. So this was a way easier way to have some weed prevention, as well as keep them watered. So as you see, I've covered them all with mulch in between, and they're lined up in rows of 5 all the way across. There's 375 in here, Picea glauca. And I prepped the 3 garden beds. This one still looks green because this is all our berries, blackberries, raspberries, and strawberries growing along there. And then there's one more garden bed out there. There was some garlic that volunteered itself that we had grown earlier this year, but otherwise that one's stripped. I put a new, actually an old recycled baby crib, and that's going to be the compost area. Rain bucket, and these are food grade plastic buckets for growing the peppers and tomatoes, because it's a lot easier to maintain the proper moisture levels for those if you have them in buckets rather than in the ground, and they're really sensitive to too much or too little water. So for that reason, that's why I'm doing them in those buckets. And you see we got some nice growth on these this year. Yeah, I'm really pleased. Looks nice and clean. So we're all set for winter. Please, in the comments, if you have to do anything specific in your region, whether you're warmer or colder than we are, that'll be fun to share. Otherwise, I'm just happy to be done. Now it's time for the weekend and to watch some English Premier League soccer. All right, y'all, so that's going to do it for today's episode of Jarhead Bonsai. If you are new to bonsai and you're in a region that has all 4 seasons, hopefully this video helped you out. If you're experienced in bonsai and winterizing and think that I made a mistake with a certain species, indoors or outdoors, or with a technique, I absolutely love to get the feedback and the constructive criticism that helps me grow as a bonsai artist. So I am completing my 4th year doing bonsai in February, and I feel really confident going into this winter. So I will keep you updated on the tree farm and my indoor and outdoor bonsais as we go forward. So I'll probably just have my tropicals upstairs to be working on throughout the winter, but I have plenty of those to keep me busy. So stay tuned and hit that subscribe and notification bell if you haven't already. Thanks, y'all. From my family to yours, cheers!